to Georgia Tech visiting Folsom Field in Colorado. I looked this up to make sure it's a home game. Georgia Tech 5-point favorites right now. A lot of juice on Colorado right now currently. Total is 52 in this one. Colorado coming into the year was, I think, the most bet regular season win total over and the most bet regular season win total under at BetMGM. So clearly not a lot of decisions made on this team on the Buffs coming into the year.
Yeah, I mean, and this is two teams that I'm on totally opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm extremely high on Georgia Tech, a little bit down on Colorado for obvious reasons. I mean, you lose the Heisman Trophy winner, you lose Shedeur Sanders. That alone is a ton. I mean, you lose DeJounte Wester, Jimmy Horn Jr. Like you lose all of these different types of pillars for Colorado that since they've been there. But I mean, Deion's used to, and I mean, you have Deion dealing with the health issues. He wasn't around the team a ton, so you're relying on your coaching staff, and albeit the offensive coordinator was a NFL head coach, so he's used to running the show, but it's still not Deion, and I think that plays a big part in them coming out a little bit slower. They're saying that Salter is going to start, but freshman Juju Lewis is going to play as well. I don't know how they're going to do that because both of these they play two completely different styles. Salter is more the dual threat. He's going to be good in play action, but he's a little bit inaccurate. Lewis is the more pocket passer. He's going to stand back and try to, beat you with his arm. But Colorado, they can't run the ball. I mean, they're starting running back, projected starting running back, Dallas Haden is out for this game. So I'm wondering, how do they muster up offense? Because you don't want Salter to drop back 30 times like you were with Shedeur. And if he's going to be starting, I'm assuming that you're going to have an offense that's wrapped around his skill set, which is getting him out on the run, easy stuff. You want to run a lot of tunnel screens, you want to run a lot of slants, a lot of quick stuff to get the ball out of his hands. He's not good in that intermediate or secondary level as far as passing, and that's where Georgia Tech is weak at. I mean, they're really good defensively up front, but I mean, they were 117 in EPA per drop back allowed last year, outside the top 90 in pass explosives allowed. But I just don't see Salter being able to beat them that way. They bring in some guys to shore up the secondary, Georgia Tech that is, but they're guys who are jumping from the G5. So I'm always leery of cornerbacks jumping from G5 to the power four. I'm sorry, because of the level of competition that they're facing, and that is a premier position. Um, Georgia Tech's got to get a pass rush. They were also top outside the top 100 in pass rush. But again, I think that this new regime for Colorado is going to be a little bit down this year. I love the offense of Georgia Tech. The Haynes and Haynes combo is back with Jamal Haynes and Haynes King. Haynes King was banged up all last year. Have to keep him healthy. So I would assume you see a lot more passing from him and not, designed runs like you saw. They do lose both of their tackles, which is really key. But I do trust that Brent Key will be fine on the offensive line. I mean, he's a former offensive line coach. I think they'll be fine here. They bring back 64% of their production. I thought the line was a little short. I made the game 6.5. So I like Georgia Tech here. I think they'll come in, run the ball at a high level, use play action to get to those receivers. Yeah, I like Georgia Tech a lot here. I would look at their team total over as well. I know team totals aren't widely available yet, but when they are, I would look at their team total over because with a new quarterback, with a new system, and then you're going in and out between. I don't know how much. Like the game plan is not set because we haven't seen it. So I don't know if Lewis is going to come in. If they're going to take like a series to series, or if it's going to be like a quarter thing. Like that much that's too confusing to start off, especially with a good team like Georgia Tech. So you could get some turnovers here, short fields for Georgia Tech, and I think they'll take advantage. So I like Georgia Tech minus a 4.5.
Okay, so give me a little bit more on what the public is thinking about Colorado. So clearly a lot of over money has come in, a lot of
Yeah,
under money on their regular season win total. And sounds like everyone knows Shedeur Sanders saga of his sinking in the draft room forever and ever and ever. Of course, the Heisman Trophy winner's gone. Where do you think the buyers in Colorado are coming from? Is it based on the Deion hype when he's not been around the club as much or around the
right.
team as much? I'm curious, either somebody knows something that there's a lot to see here, or I'm struggling to figure out why anyone in the public, especially after how Colorado started seasons recently and then completely flamed out towards the end.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of everything that you said. I think it's a lot of the public sentiment is to, they saw Deion overachieve in that first game when they played TCU. And I think they played well in the first game as well last year. But again, you're going through this is the third time you're basically flipping a roster. Again, the second year you had your pillars, which were, your offensive guys, and you got a second year of they got a really good tackle in Jordan Seaton, NFL, he's an NFL player, but that offensive line, they cannot run block to save their lives at all. Um, so I think it's a mix of just the public just rooting for Deion and just an overwhelming influx of them wanting to see Deion do well, which is perfectly fine. But I mean, it's just not the way that you want to bet on sports, especially with a team that's as volatile as. I mean, you're starting two quarterbacks. You don't get more volatile than that. So I think Sharps really like Colorado unders, and I think they'll be fading them. They've been fading them in this all summer. I think, and that whenever the line moves, it's because of the sharp action. So I think more sharps are opposed to being down on Colorado than up. I echo those sentiments. I'm really down on them. I took a win total under on them as well. But Georgia Tech, I mean, they're ACC contender, dark horse playoff contender because of what they can do. I mean, let's not forget they took Georgia to what, like, 6 overtimes. They beat Miami when they were the number 4 team in the country, and they bring back a ton of production. So it's not like this is not like TCU from a year ago. This is not a team in the Big 12. They're a big physical football team who is going to run the ball. They're not going to beat themselves. But I think the defensive issues in the secondary is why some guys are given a pause for cause on Georgia Tech in this specific matchup.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you agree. Okay, so
Yeah,
we've
don't
now
I
gone
don't.
through 4 of the biggest games on Thursday and Friday. Need to get out some promo codes, and of course, we will have our best bets coming in a second. We'll